Hello, I'm Catherine, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time visiting. So glad that you stopped by. Today, I really just kind of want to play with some new makeup that I've been playing with. I have been using all of these products, but they are relatively new in my collection. And I wanted to just do a look and kind of give you some little mini reviews as we go along. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to pin my hair back so that it's not all in my face. So the first new product that I wanted to use that is new to me is from JLo Beauty, which is a new brand from Jennifer Lopez. And this is the That Star Filter. It is a primer or a highlighter, however you want to use it. I'm going to put this kind of all over. It has almost a rose gold type of sheen. You could use a brush if you wanted to, but I prefer to use my hands when I have a product like this, but a brush would be nice as well. You can see kind of the light sheen or glow that this has given to my skin. And we're going to put a new foundation for me on top of this. So we're going to see if that glow still comes through. So this is a new foundation for me, but not new to the market. And it is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear. I have really been loving this foundation. It's just a really, really nice foundation. It's one that I've been wanting to try. And so I'm going to do one pump. And by the way, I have the shade 140 Ivory Neutral. Just going to tap this onto my skin. And I am using my Sigma F80 to blend this in. It's a flat kabuki brush. I really love this foundation brush. It's a very good one. It does a nice even job. So I have been doing kind of a peel that I do once a year where I do this. It's from Exuviance, and I use it once a week on the weekends. And when I do that, it initially takes my sunspots and makes them a lot darker, and then they tone down after that. But at first it kind of flares them up. And so I am finding that a foundation like this that has a little bit more coverage, I would say this is a medium to full coverage and like a semi-matte finish. That's why I like the JLo primer underneath, the highlighting glow. It just shines through but still gives me nice coverage, which is what I want. I want, see that sunspot over here particularly covered. But I've really been enjoying this foundation. I find that it is not drying or cakey, but it does give me more of a medium to full coverage. And like I said, it gives you that kind of a soft matte. Really nice with a highlighting type of primer underneath it. So for concealer today, I'm going to be using a new concealer that I picked up from The Ordinary. And The Ordinary, if you're not familiar, is more of a skincare company, but they have a couple of they have a foundation line, which I have the foundation, but I haven't tried it yet. I will be doing a video on that pretty soon, and I'll probably be using it with the concealer. And they just came out with this concealer. So it comes in a tube, and I've heard it's very potent. So I want to use just the smallest amount. And for shade, I'm in 1.1P Fair. And it was very difficult to figure out the shades online, but I'm just going to take a tiny amount. We'll start with that. And I am going to use my sponge to blend this in. This is definitely going to be brightening under the eye because it is very light. This is an incredibly reasonable, it's really drugstore price. I believe it was like $6 for this concealer. It did do a nice job. I think you can tell. I might go a little bit deeper with this one, and I might just take it with my finger to see, because sometimes your finger is the best choice with certain concealers. This one is a little thicker than some concealers I use. And when you have that, sometimes you need the heat of your finger to help you in blending it in. But that's given very nice coverage. I'm actually going to take it on top of this sunspot as well and see if I can blend that in and get a little bit extra coverage on that sunspot. And do it on this one as well. And a little bit on my nose here. I did the tiniest amount of this concealer. Now I'm gonna look in the mirror and see, I'm not seeing any cakiness or dryness. I always tend to get a little creasing, so I just have to go over it a little bit. But overall, I think that is pretty darn good. I'm gonna be using just my regular old NARS eyeshadow primer. And I like to do this just with my sponge, kind of tap it in from there. This is the shade Light. The next new product is a powder that I just got from the company Kosas. And I'm actually going to be doing, I think, a full face of Kosas. I think I have enough now to do a full face of Kosas. But this is the powder. This is called their Breezy, no, my color, I'm sorry, my shade is Breezy, but this is called the Cloud Set Powder. And this is how it comes, very similar to the Kosas bronzer. It's domed shaped. And I'm just gonna take a fluffier powder brush. Don't really quite know about this powder yet. I have a hard time getting a lot of it to come up. It is very hard in the pan, and what I'm finding is I don't know if you can tell, there's kind of a hard shell on top of it. So not a lot of powder comes up. I'm really having to press in to get any powder. Normally I'm so careful with powder because I don't want too much. I wouldn't normally do this, but I really feel like I'm having to dig into this pan to get any payoff with this powder. So I don't have a set review, but I haven't been overall thrilled with it. The first impressions haven't been that great. Again, like I said, it just has this like film on the top, and I've barely used this, and you can see it's kind of dug into that film, but maybe if I can get past that film, I will have better coverage and better product. I don't know. So that is this new Kosas powder. I will come back to you and let you know what my thoughts are on that product. Okay, so now I want to talk about one of my favorite new products that I've recently been using, and that is this bronzer from Nabla. This is their skin bronzing formula, and the formula is what makes this so amazing. I'm going to get my a bronzing brush here. The shade I have is Soft Revenge, which I just love. It's kind of a medium, and it has more of a cool undertone, which I think is just perfect for this time of year. But what I love about this is the formula. It glides onto your finger, like you can see there on my finger, but there's not any powderiness, there's no flaking. It just blends seamlessly into your skin. So I'm gonna show you, I'm using my BK Beauty brush, my 103. I'm gonna dip into this, and I have just been loving this bronzer. It just gives a very nice warmth. It's perfect for what I think this cold weather, when I don't wanna look bronzy, but I'd like to look warmed up, and I'd like to have some structure to my face. So I love the effect of this bronzer. I have been just using it almost every day. I love it so much. And you can get this at Ulta or on the Nabla website, but I just love the formula of these bronzers. I highly recommend checking them out. My blush today is not new. It's an old favorite, and another favorite formula. It's from Buxom, but this is not one that I've actually used that much. This is the shade Dolly, and I just thought it would be perfect. I love the shade of this, and I thought it would be perfect for this time of year when it's cold. I love that kind of pink flush that you put on the cheek. The formula of these Wanderlust primer infused blushes, just incredible. They stay on all day. They're really nice to blend, but they're also very pigmented, like you will see. Going to give me that nice rosy cheek, and I like to kind of go over that with my sponge just so there aren't any harsh edges. This has like a very, very subtle sheen to it, but it's incredibly subtle, not much of one at all. Then for highlight, I want to use the Nabla highlighter, which is actually I got before the bronzer. This is the Skin Glazing formula, and this is in the shade Privilege. I've talked about this on my channel before, and I just love the formula of these highlights. I've been using this highlighter like crazy. I've already started to take some of the letters off, which is crazy, but it's just, for me, I think one of the best highlighters for over 40 skin because it's so subtle and pretty and it doesn't sink into your fine lines of wrinkles. It's just a beautiful highlight. Gives you that glow without making you look too made up. It just looks healthy and natural. So I'm going to take a little bit of that Kosas powder, and I'm going to be using my BK Beauty 105. We're going to see what comes up. A little bit came up, and I'm just going to kind of buff all of this in so that it looks all put together and seamless. So I have nothing new for my brows, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my Precisely My Brow pencil, and I'm going to be using my 24-hour brow setter from Benefit also, and then I'll be back. Okay, my brows are done now, and I want to show you one of my other new favorite products that I've recently gotten, and that is this new palette from Tarte. This is the Tarlette Juicy palette, and I will show you the palette. And I will tell you that when I first saw this palette, I did not want it. I was like, nope, I'll pass. This is just a pinky neutral palette. Doesn't look like anything special. And then I started to see the reviews of it, and time again, people that I really trust on YouTube and people that I trust on Instagram were talking about how good this palette was, and they were talking about it over and over again and couldn't stop talking about it. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna break down and get it. And I'm so glad that I did. If you are in the market for a good neutral palette and you like to have these pops of rosy pink or peach in here, but look at all the brown shades too, this is an incredible palette. And the formula is wonderful, and you see you get that huge big mirror. It's just a great palette. It's just overall a phenomenal palette. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Today I am gonna do kind of a neutral look with a little bit of the pink in it. I'm gonna start off down below here with this shade called Happiness, which is just a very pretty transition shade, kind of a cooler tan, but very light. I'm gonna just put that all over the lid. You cannot go wrong with this palette. These shadows just blend beautifully and nothing is too crazy. So it really doesn't matter what combination of shadows that you choose to use. They look so nice. And the shimmers, I think, are the mature friendly shimmers, not chunky, not glittery, just beautiful and very easy to apply. FYI, this does have a scent to it. It's like a kind of a vanilla scent. It doesn't bother me, but if you're really bothered by scents, then you might not want to get this palette, but that would be a shame because I really love it. So that was just a nice neutral kind of base to put all over. We'll be able to go back and with that shade also to help us if we need to spruce anything up. One of my favorite shades in this is this shade called Petal. I just have been loving that shade. So we're gonna go in with that and put that in the crease. And a little bit above the crease, I want that peeking through. This is the prettiest pink. It's like a rose pink, but it's very subtle, but really pretty. I hope that that shows up. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. This is such an easy eye look, and like I said, these colors just, they're gorgeous together. I'm going to go ahead and take some of the shade Petal and drag that a little bit underneath my lower lash line. So soft and so pretty. And then really, I'm gonna do such a simple look today. I'm just going to go into one of my other favorite shades, which is right next to Petal, which is called Wildflower. It is such a pretty shimmer. It's kind of pink, but kind of purple. It's just a nice mix, and it's just very subtle and pretty shimmer. I'm doing it with a brush, but I don't normally do it with a brush, so I'm gonna actually go in with my finger. These shimmers, I think, go on a lot better with your finger. I'm just gonna tap it lightly, and you can see it just gives such a nice pink shimmer, but not like pink in your face shimmer. And how easy is this? Just literally patting this on my eye. I'm going to take my original brush, put a little bit more of that shade Happiness, and just kind of buff around the edges. Make sure that that is all really put together. Then I'm going to take just another blending brush, and I'm going to go into this nice shade up here called Wishful, which is just a very pretty cream. I'm going to use that for the brow bone, highlighting that and just helping me to diffuse any edges. But these shadows blend so nicely, I find you don't have any edges. They're just really nice, pretty shades. And then finally, because we can, I'm going to take a little pencil brush, and I'm going to go into this top shade, which is called Water Lily. And I'm going to go into that for the inner corner. Give a little pop in that inner corner there. And that is it. And what a pretty, pretty look. Subtle, nice, but still with a little pop of pink. I love this palette. I can't get enough of it. I'm looking forward to using this over and over and over again. I do believe, and I'm not for sure, but I do believe it is going to be limited edition. So if you are interested, of course, everything is linked down below, but if you are interested in this palette, you might want to get on it before it goes away, because that's, for whatever reason, that's what they do in these makeup companies. I do not have a new eyeliner to use, but I am going to be using this Fly liner from Fenty Beauty. I have it in the shade Space Doggy. It is kind of just a nice brown shade. You can see the definition that that gave this eye compared to this eye. I love to show people the difference when you use a good eyeliner, and this is a good eyeliner. These Fenty Fly lines is what they call them, are really nice. They're easy, they don't tug, and they smudge really well, and you get enough time to work with them, which is also really good. And I'm going to take just this little brush that we used and kind of go over that, kind of smudge it out a little bit, soften the line, and that is it. I'm going to go off camera now, curl my lashes with my Surratt eyelash curler, and of course use my Lancome Lash Idole, which is my very favorite mascara right now. I'm back with my lashes done. Many of you ask me about my lashes. I do use a lash serum. I use the Babe Lash. It's something that came in a BoxyCharm, and it has worked very well for me. But I'm going to tell you, if you haven't tried this and you are looking for a good mascara for length and curl, this is the one. By far the best one I've ever used. Unbelievable. I love it, love it, love it. And doesn't smudge, doesn't flake. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So for lips, I have one new lip product, which is a lip liner that I purchased from Persona Cosmetics. If I can get that to show up for you. Let me swatch it here. This is the shade Almond. It's just a nude color. And I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with this shade. Okay, so I've lined my lips with this liner. I will tell you that these liners are really creamy and they feel really nice going on. They remind me of the KKW lip liners with one big difference, and that is these last forever. In fact, in all honesty, I will tell you that I have had to re-record this particular video with these products because I had a technical glitch. And so I did a swatch like this on my hand, and it was on all day, even after washing my hands multiple times throughout the day. So these stay put. It's amazing. So I really love that about these, because you could just put this on and a little bit of a clear gloss or maybe a champagne gloss and you'd be good all day long. These last, but they're very, very creamy. Today I wanted to use not a brand new product for me, but a relatively new product that I got in December. And I got another shade of the YSL Rouge Volupte. It's one of my favorite lipstick formulas. This is not long lasting at all, so it's great to pair it with a long lasting lip liner. And this one is in shade, I believe it's 88. And I have really been enjoying this one. I love the formula of these. They're very much like a lip balm, nourishing, and they kind of have a glossy feel. But they have good pigment. And they have the best smell. I'm not sure what it is, but it's great, and I just love it. So I've been loving this one. It's in shade 88, and it's been really nice for the winter time. It just kind of goes with anything. It's a little bit deeper nude for me, so I've been really liking this. Okay, I'm back now with all of my makeup done, and I wanted to share with you some of the highlights of this particular haul of products. First of all, I love, love, love this bronzer. I just think it's amazing, and I love the formula of this Nabla bronzer, and I love the formula of the Nabla highlighter, which is very, very similar. I think both of these are phenomenal products, and I believe they're $24 at Ulta. Great value. It's just a really interesting, different product. Very different from anything I've used. I've really been liking this Lancome foundation. This has been a really nice one for me. And I love to pair it with something like this JLo Beauty. This is very similar to Becca has a product like this. Charlotte Tilbury has a product like this. I mean, L'Oreal has the Lumi Glotion is great. I don't know that this is anything that special or different, but I do think it pairs really nicely with a more matte and a more high coverage foundation. This powder, I don't know. The verdict, I just don't know yet. I don't have a particular review of it. It's not been my favorite so far. I have been disappointed in the feel of it. It's very hard in the pan. Guys, I love this palette. I really do love this Tarlette Juicy palette. And I'm telling you, you're looking at this and thinking, this doesn't look like it's anything that great. But it's something about the formula. It's just so easy to use. It's quick. It's just a great palette to have. And it just looks so pretty, so youthful, but very, very mature skin friendly. So I've really been enjoying this. These lip liners from Persona, I've been incredibly impressed with and would recommend you trying out as well. Everything I used today was really a great product and something I've been enjoying. I don't quite know on this Ordinary concealer, still playing with that, but so far so good. We'll see how long it lasts today and what kind of creasing and so forth, any kind of issues that we might have with it. Overall, I like this makeup. This is a nice simple makeup for me, especially in the winter time. I love having a little bit of some gleam, and I love the simple eyes, but with a little hint of the pink. I hope you enjoyed these little product reviews and this makeup look. Let me know in the comments below. Give me some feedback. I would love for you to come join me over on Instagram as well. It's KZ Beauty Coach. I do a get ready with me every Sunday and do product reviews and let you know about specific sales of products that I think are great. As always, I'm so glad that you spent a little bit of your valuable time here with me today. I would love for you to hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the content of my channel. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you would like in the future, and I hope you have a great day.